NightFam, you are about to meet children who could prove they lived as someone else before they were born. The following stories are verified by psychologists and they will change the way you look at afterlife. Let's start from James, who could prove he was a pilot who died in World War II. James was less than 2 years old when he became fascinated with World War II planes. He loved them, but the more he loved the planes, the more nightmares he had with him inside a crashing plane. To top this unusual behavior, psychiatrists diagnosed him with a PTSD disorder, which didn't make sense because James didn't go through anything bad in his life. And here is where it gets really creepy. At some point, James described the event. He said in his previous life he was James Houston, a pilot of a Corsair plane, and that his plane got shot by the Japanese and crashed into water. What's creepy was that his father found James Houston in World War II books. He was indeed a war veteran. Most of the stories that James said about his past life matched to what his parents found in the research, and eventually came to believe that the fallen fighter pilot reincarnated into their son. Next is Purnima, who believed she was a man in her previous life. It all began from her asking, "Where are my parents?" over and over. At first, her mother thought the girl was talking about her, but that was not the case. She was asking for her previous parents. See, at some point, Purnima started to talk about her previous life in detail. She said she was a man called Jina Dasa. Her stories were so detailed that she could describe her job as someone who made incense sticks. And finally, she said how she died in a traffic incident in her previous life. There was only one family that made the incense sticks that Purnima had mentioned. They found them, and perhaps the most chilling part, Purnima's story was verified. Jinadasa indeed died in a traffic incident. In the autopsy of Jinadasa's body, the bus had run over his chest. Purnima had birthmarks on her chest similar to the location of Jinadasa's injuries. Wow. And speaking of birthmarks, we need to talk about the Pollock sisters, who were reborn as their own younger siblings. This is one of the most popular stories about reincarnation. In 1957, two girls, Jacqueline and Joanne, got hit by a car and died on the spot. More than a year later, the mother of the two girls gave birth to another two girls, Jillian and Jennifer. Devastated about the death of her other two daughters, she had kept their toys hidden. However, when they were 4, the two daughters started looking for the toys of their dead sisters. They remembered the names given to the toys and divided them according to how Jacqueline and Joanna did. The family had also moved to a new home shortly after the twins were born, but for some reason the two little girls remembered their past home like they lived there. And on top of all of it, Jennifer had a birthmark on her left hip and her forehead that were very much the same as her dead sister's marks. Do you think it is possible that the daughters kept the memories of their dead sisters? Whether you believe in these stories or not, I decided to share them with you because I deeply believe that you and me, we are on this planet for a reason. You cannot deny that there is something more to humans than just flesh. That there are things about us that we cannot explain. Take déjà vu, for example. Almost everyone knows how it feels to live through an event for the second time, yet we cannot explain it. It is truly fascinating and at the same time hopeful, because the existence of life after death can truly give us hope that there is more to life than we see.